Sunday night football, a division rivalry, and a shutout. What more can you ask for to open up the 2023 Dallas Cowboys football season? You're watching Cowboys Flashback. I'm Savannah breaking down exactly what went down on the field in the Big Apple. The Cowboys rained on the Giants parade during a stormy evening at MetLife Stadium. Cowboys special teams, defense, and offense all had touchdowns, giving Dallas an upper hand 26-0, and that was just in the first half. In the second, Tony Pollard and Kayvontae Turpin turned up the heat, adding points on the board, along with kicker Brandon Aubrey, who made his NFL debut on Sunday night. The final score, 40-0, making this the largest shutout victory in Cowboys history. Dallas now has an 11-1 record against the Giants in 12 opening games. Coach McCarthy, who was calling plays for the first time as head coach for the Cowboys, had this to say after the game.
This is the most decisive shutout victory in franchise history. Just understanding it's only one game, but just the statement that you guys made today and what it showed about this team.
I mean, really the focus was to get off, the season, take the first step. We accomplished that tonight. I think just like anything, it was our first live game together. So, then you had the weather factor in. So a lot of good things tonight to build off of but I mean, it is one win. It's your first division win, your first road win. And all those are important because it's important to get that first one under your belt. But just the way we played, and it's nice when you see the players, emphasize and you see it exercised in practice and carried over to the field. I thought the defense and the block field goal got it started, and and it really never stopped. Defense was relentless all night. The takeaways and just what a great job with the return game and the offense for taking care of the football. I mean that was there were some tough conditions. You can see both sides handling snaps, handling punts. Exchanges were a challenge all night, and I thought the offense did an excellent job in that area too. So, the big play production was probably as high as I can recall. And that's how you get to these type of games. But it's one win. It's a really good start for us.
Your first opening win as a Cowboys coach. Can you talk about that and just the completeness of what you did?
Zach Martin just told me that. Walking in there, the PR department forgot to tell me that I hadn't won a game yet. So I would have been more motivated coming in there, but I'll take it. I mean, I never focused on that. I mean, it's important to get that first win, so it was good to get, I guess, my first opening win.
Mike Jordy, up signed with Yahoo Sports. Even if you weren't focused on it for you, returning to play calling, how did it feel? And I guess what was that experience like?
I mean, it was good. I think like anything, because of the weather, you had to adjust. And I thought the offensive staff and the communication of players was excellent tonight. I mean, there's always going to be things that, I'm going to want to do better, and that's it's no different tonight. So, we had a couple things, but I thought it was a relatively clean game. I thought, I don't ever want to say conservative. I think you have to be smart in spots there, and I thought Dak did an excellent job commanding that and being smart in the decision making. Particularly because you can see the way the game started there early. After their first drive, the ball. Protecting the football was going to be a big challenge tonight, and I thought Dak and the offense did a really nice job of that.
When we come back on Cowboys Flashback, Tony Pollard makes his mark as the Cowboys starting running back. His highlights next.
Dallas Cowboys Flashback, powered by Reliant, is brought to you by AT&T, official sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys, and by Reliant, official energy provider of the Dallas Cowboys. This segment is brought to you by AT&T, official sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys.
Welcome back to Cowboys Flashback. I'm Savannah. A big night for starting running back Tony Pollard with 14 carries, 70 rushing yards, and 2 touchdowns. Pollard told reporters post-game how his offense got the job done meant a lot to him, that their work in the offseason is finally showing.
Tony, to come out this first opportunity like this. You've made plenty of plays in your time, but to do it the way you did tonight in this role, what did this mean to you in the offense to be able to run the football the way you guys did?
I mean, it means everything. It just shows the hard work, that we put in all off season, mini camp, OTAs, training camp. Just being out there working hard. Iron sharpening iron, and then just coming out here and putting it to the test.
And then when the defense is playing the way they are, what is that like as an offense, and knowing you're going to run the ball probably a good amount too? What was it like being out there and watching them do their?
I mean, they made it easy for us today. They kind of took our job from us. They put up probably just as many points as us. But anytime the defense scoring like that, it's good for everything. Special teams, offense, it just gets everybody going from the momentum.
Everybody was talking about Mike McCarthy and the offense and him calling plays. Did it feel different with Mike calling the plays tonight? How would you describe tonight compared to the last couple of years?
Honestly, I couldn't tell you. When I get in the game and get in that mode, I'm just locked in. It felt smooth, though. It didn't feel like it was a big change from what we've been calling, so it felt pretty smooth.
Obviously, it's a long season, but to start the season off with a shutout win over one of your division rivals, what does that do just for the confidence in terms of a tone setter for the season?
I mean, it's big. Just like I said earlier, the hard work that we put in is paying off, but, this is just one game. It's our first game of the season. We got a long way to go, so we're just going to keep getting better.
You see younger guys making contributions, and then how does that feed off of you guys, too, as you see some of these younger guys making an impact out there?
I mean, the energy is just contagious. Once you see the young guys go out there and make plays, just making a name for themselves, it's just the energy just feeds from the whole team.
Tony, how big was that first drive in the second half? You guys have really
I mean, it was big just to come out, keep that momentum swing that we had from the first half, carry it into the second half, and then, just come out and try to get points.
Like some of the different things Mike was doing. He's got Turpin in the slot, he's in the backfield, even he was getting the passes in the backfield.
Yeah, I mean, I love what we were calling on offense. I love the flow of everything, how everything was going. The runs we were calling, it was all, everything looked good. I like how everything went. I like how the game went, the calls went, all of it.
And with Sunday night's win, quarterback Dak Prescott has won 11 consecutive starts against the New York Giants. He had 143 yards in the game, and here is what he had to say after.
The offense didn't have to do much tonight. Just can talk about the play of the defense, and you guys didn't have to, you could play conservative and just let the defense do what they need to do.
Yeah, I mean, great team win. And like you said, it starts with the defense, really starts with special teams. I mean, starting with the block field goal that turns into a touchdown, and then the defense then just creating turnovers and giving us a couple of touchdown lead, and then just allowing them to go feast. And I think I've talked about it all spring to training camp, understanding the pass rush that we were going against at practice, and just watching that come alive against another team, another quarterback was exciting, and as you said, made it easier for us on our side.
John Michaud, The Athletic. How was the communication, and how do you think things went with Mike calling the plays for the first time? How did you guys think you did do it?
Yeah, I mean, great. Yeah, not necessarily me to him getting to do it in the preseason, but heard how he called all the games, the first couple of games, and then we've had opportunities at practice, whether it be 2-minute, whether it just be put the ball down, call it plays, whether it be the red zone drill, where I understood his flow, I understood his tempo, how he got things in the plays, and his purpose in it, as I talked about all spring. And that goes just honestly to our communication throughout the week of why he's calling something, when he's going to call it, and what he wants to call it for. And thought it went smooth and a great start.
Calvin Watkins, Dallas Cowboys. Your thoughts on some of the different things you did offensively? You got Turpin in the backfield, and obviously Tony got 2 touchdowns, but some of the different things you did tonight.
Yeah, I think I've said it all off season long, just that we've got playmakers, we got guys that have a lot of speed, that need to get the ball out in space, and that's something that you're going to see this year from us. Is I don't want to say featuring those guys more, but getting those guys that deserve the ball in space as much as we can, knowing that they're great guys to make guys miss and create explosive plays, and that's how you make explosives without chasing them. So we've got the guys to do it, and it's my job to get it to them.
One of those plays, the long pass to CD where you had the bunch and he kind of got free there.
Yeah, I mean, any pass to CD is going to consist of that.
Was you surprised at how that was designed and how he was able to?
No, not surprised. I mean, that's something that we're looking for. No, it was a play call. That one goes into the preparation, understanding what they're going to give us on third down. Great timing by Coach. getting it in at that time, getting exactly what we wanted, the look we wanted, got to that play. And, yeah, I mean, when you do your preparation throughout the week, that should happen, and it did. Great by the guys of executing.
When we return on Cowboys Flashback, the defense is one to watch out for. Their outstanding performance coming up next.
This segment was brought to you by AT&T, official sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys. This segment is brought to you by Ashley, the official furniture store of the Dallas Cowboys.
Welcome back to Cowboys Flashback. I'm Savannah Mueller. Starting with special teams, a blocked field goal in the first quarter from Wanye Thomas picked up by Noah Igbenogany, who ran it back for a touchdown. This kicked off some serious momentum for the Cowboys. Take a look.
Gano, the veteran, 36 years old. Great breakthrough by Thomas, who blocked it. And Igbenogany has it for Dallas. Noah Igbenogany stays in bounds, and the Cowboys special teams gets the first score of the year. Touchdown, Dallas.
Defense, defense, defense. Giants quarterback Daniel Jones did not know what hit him. A dominant night for the D-line with 7 sacks on Jones. Armstrong, Odigizua, Parsons, Lawrence all added some serious pressure to the Giants offense. Stephon Gilmore had his 30th career interception Sunday night. His pick off Daniel Jones went on to later add more points to the board. And Trayvon Diggs was a physical force on the field. His tackle at the end of the first quarter forced a fumble picked up by Deron Bland, taking it 22 yards to the house. Here's what Diggs had to say postgame.
First of all, I mean, just the statement you guys make tonight, 40-0, shutting out the division opponent, first game this season. What does that say about this unit, this team?
I feel like, we got better. I feel like, executing and doing what we're supposed to. And, I'm just excited to see where we can go, put this game behind us and, try to do it again next week.
Your forced fumble, just, I guess one of the many effort plays that you guys make tonight, but it came from everywhere in the defensive backfield especially. What does that say about the entire unit itself?
I feel like we got a standard that we live to. I feel like, we hold everyone to that standard. Just getting the job done, executing all the calls and everyone just, you got a play to make sure you make it.
So you gave the football to your son, Aiden. What was that moment like for you?
He asked me like before I had went out, he said, "Dad, can you give me a pick?" I was like, "All right, I'm gonna try." And it just happened. He threw the ball and I got a forced fumble, so I was like, "Here you go, it's good enough."
There have been at times some comments about is Trayvon gonna stick his nose in there and make a hit and hit on that play. Does it feel like you kind of found some of that with a play like that?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I hope so.
Good. You got in on 2 turnovers tonight instead of got 1. What's your case for y'all being the best cornerback duo in the league?
You asking me or you telling me? You asked me, are we the best cornerback duo in the league?
What's your statement as far as that conversation? Why do you think y'all are?
I feel like we're just going to continue to put it on display every week, and then we're going to let y'all decide.
Micah felt like you guys made a statement. Micah felt like you guys made a statement as a unit tonight about this being the best defense.
Yeah, 100%.
What kind of confidence level do you guys have that there's nobody doing this better than y'all?
I agree with him 110%. I don't feel like there's nobody better than us at all.
Did that pass rush surprise you at all?
No. It surprised him. He said, "Oh my!" He said, "Oh my God."
This Cowboys defense is certainly making a statement. When we come back, George Teague joins me in the studio to break down the biggest plays from the night.
This segment was brought to you by Ashley, the official furniture store of the Dallas Cowboys.
Welcome back to Cowboys Flashback. George Teague joining me in the studio, former Cowboys player. He is breaking down some plays from the game. George, we're going to start on offense. I mean, what a night.
Man, I got so excited because I got to see us run the ball with some intensity and being very, very physical. So what I want to talk to you about is the counter run game. It is a gap scheme that allows us to get more gaps to one side of the ball than not. So on this particular play right here, you're going to see our linemen go back where we're creating angles for our linemen to come to the other side, kick the defensive end out. You're going to see Fergie come around, block here, which is going to allow for Pollard to be patient, follow behind him, and have this huge run. So as you watch this run, as you watch the tape go, you'll see a lot of angles by a lot of people, big physical contact right there on the edge of the line of scrimmage. Pollard does a great job of staying behind the pullers and creates the running gap. This is going to be a staple play in our gap run scheme.
And now this was a 25-yard gain from Tony Pollard, and Coach Mike McCarthy, he's looking to do more of these schemes, especially for our running game, right?
Well, it adds so much to what we want to do. A lot of different things come off of this. Whenever you can run the ball and be physical at it, it will lead to play action passes, so we got to be able to establish a run at all points of the game.
All right, we're going to clear the screen. We have a defensive play, and last night the defense, I could not get enough of them. It was just play after play, but this one specifically caught my eye, and I know it caught yours too.
Well, anytime we have interceptions by the secondary, it always catches my eye. But in this particular play, you're going to see that we're playing Tampa 2. This is a coverage you hear about a lot, where the linebacker will run out of there to help cover in the middle, and then you can have someone else sit short right here in the flat. What we do, which kind of confuses them. So when Diggs, go ahead and run the play. When Diggs starts to take off out of there, he's going to sit in the flat. Danny Dimes is going to throw him the ball to Saquon Barkley, and there's going to be a big collision right here that allows for Deron Bland to make a huge play and be able to take it in for the pick six. Man, there's nothing more exciting as a defensive back to take one into the end zone.
And I know there was a lot of conversations last season with having Trayvon Diggs be more of that physical player. What do you think a play like this means for him and just going into the season?
This is a huge play for him. It set the tempo early for the defense. And if you watch later in the game, he actually had the strip, right, that caused another turnover. So Trayvon Diggs is already setting the tempo and what he wants to do in the secondary this year.
George, thanks for breaking this down. When we come back, Aaron Rodgers is coming to Dallas. We will have a look at that matchup coming up.
Dallas Cowboys Flashback, powered by Reliant, was brought to you by AT&T, official sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys, and by Reliant, an NRG company.
Welcome back to Cowboys Flashback. Kyle Yummins joined me now in the studio. Aaron Rodgers is 6-3 all-time against the Cowboys with 14 touchdowns and just 1 interception, all with Green Bay. Big matchup coming up on Sunday at AT&T Stadium. What are you thinking?
Well, there were lots of big numbers in that, and I think for the most part, Aaron Rodgers has always had some success against the Dallas Cowboys. You think about Cowboys Nation, and they still have nightmares about 2016, 2018, and some of those big plays that the Packers and Aaron Rodgers had. But you really go back to last year, it wasn't all about Aaron Rodgers. It was about some of the weapons. Christian Watson in Green Bay last year, he had 3 touchdowns. You can't let that happen with Garrett Wilson on the New York Jets. Of course, different uniform, same quarterback. He's going to find a way to get the ball out to his weapons. You got to shut down guys like Wilson. And then I'm really interested to see what the defensive side of the football does against this Cowboys offense, because of course they've got Sauce Gardner and company. Aaron Rodgers is a threat, but there's more than just Aaron Rodgers on this New York Jets team. They're going to bring the fire on Sunday.
I'm excited to see how the Jets offense does, but I'm actually more excited based off of last night's defensive game. You know, going up against Aaron Rodgers, it's just going to be fun at that point.
Well, if you think about it, the Cowboys took the Giants out of their game plan. They were able to run the ball effectively early, and then as soon as the Cowboys took a lead because of Noah Igbinogheni's return, because of the pick six from Deron Bland, then the Giants had to throw the football. And whenever Giants had to throw the football, they had Cowboys running around in the backfield. There was nowhere for Daniel Jones to go. Aaron Rodgers is not as mobile as Daniel Jones is, at least at this point in his career. So if the Cowboys can continue to force the Jets into passing situations, that's going to allow some of these edge rushers, these pass rushers to get free. And if that's the case, you're going to put pressure on Aaron Rodgers and trying to force into some mistakes and some turnovers.
Best part is we have home field advantage. Cowboys fans, they always pack it out for us. I mean, it's going to be loud up in there in an AT&T Stadium.
It was loud in MetLife Stadium in New York on Sunday night. So I anticipate, especially coming off of a 42 3-0 win. The Cowboys are excited. Cowboys Nation is ready to go. As soon as they get back to Arlington, this is going to be a fun home opener, and especially when Aaron Rodgers comes to town. Cowboys fans don't like that man. He used to wear number 12. Now he's wearing number 8. Doesn't matter. Cowboys fans are going to get after the Jets. This is going to be a great environment, and hopefully another Cowboys win.
Well, we are super excited for this, and Cowboys will take on Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets this Sunday afternoon at AT&T Stadium in Week 2, and we'll see you next week back here on Cowboys Flashback.